Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Our today's topic is eutrophication. Eutrophication comes from a Greek word eutrophos, which means well nourished. Or the process of eutrophication, it's also called as hypertrophication, and it occurs or it happens when a water body becomes overly enriched with minerals and nutrients, which induces excessive growth of algae. This process may result in oxygen depletion of the water body, and this whole process is called as eutrophication. So in short, you can say that when excessive nutrients get mixed up with the water body, it will induce an excessive growth of plants and algae also, so which will result in the oxygen depletion of the water body. According to a survey that was done by the State of the World's Lakes, it was found that eutrophication affects 54% of Asian lakes, 53% of the lakes that are present in Europe, 48% of those in North America, 41% in South America, 28% in Africa. It is a major environmental concern for lakes, coastal waters, estuaries, etc. Since the term refers to an increase in which nutrients especially phosphorus and nitrogen. These nutrients actually result in an explosive increase of algae, and which is called as algal bloom. So how are these algal blooms formed? Basically what happens is phytoplanktons, which includes algae and blue-green bacteria, they basically thrive on the excess nutrients that are present in the water, excessive nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen. So these algae, they thrive on these nutrients and their population starts increasing. So what will happen is these algae will form a layer on the entire surface of water, like you can see here in this pic. This is how an algal bloom looks like. This pic is of algal bloom that was found in 2010 along the coast of Qingdao, eastern China. So this is how an algal bloom looks like. It forms a layer on the water surface. So also that means eutrophication, it leads to the algal bloom. So how this mechanism of eutrophication work? I'll just try to make it simpler for you. Suppose it starts from here. So first step is nutrients, excessive nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen. I already told you, N and P for phosphorus. So these excessive nutrients, what will happen is excessive nutrients from fertilizers, they are flushed into the water bodies like here. So excessive nutrients आएंगे, nitrates, phosphates, वो पानी में mix हो जाएंगे. And then will come the second step. So excessive nitrates, phosphates से क्या होगा? Plants and algal growth, it will increase. So plant growth will increase, algal growth will increase. So plants will flourish, plants and algae. Then comes the third step. These algae, when they start growing, I already told you, जब ये बहुत ज़्यादा grow करते हैं, so they form algal blooms. Like you can see here, algae layer covering the water surface. Okay, so उससे क्या होगा? ये algal layer जो यहाँ पर है, it will prevent the sunlight from entering into the water body. So the plants जो यहाँ present हैं water body के अंदर, these plants won't be able to perform photosynthesis because they won't be able to get the sunlight. Okay, so what will happen then? These plants and the algae जो इस portion में present होंगे, वो they will die, of course. Without sunlight they will die. So oxygen, when these plants and algae die, oxygen level will decrease because ये plants जब photosynthesis करते हैं, they release oxygen into the water body. So when these plants die, oxygen level will decrease automatically. So after this third step, what will happen? These dead plants and algae ये decompose हो जाएंगे. Okay, so these dead plants and algae, they will start decomposing. And who will decompose this like these dead plants and algae? You already know that microorganisms or bacteria, we can say, they will decompose this matter here. And these microorganisms or these bacteria, they will use oxygen. Further, they will use oxygen that's present in water, like which we call as dissolved oxygen. We call it as dissolved oxygen also. So ये dissolved oxygen और use होगा for the process of decomposition. So इससे क्या होगा? That means further the level of oxygen is reduced. तो oxygen और कम हो गया. So then comes the fifth step. So when oxygen level it reduces to a level कि fish and other organism they cannot survive. So when a level is reached कि fish and other organism survive नहीं कर पाएंगे, so that means this ecosystem is dead. So it will lead to the death of the ecosystem. Okay, so this is how the mechanism of eutrophication works. Or in this flow chart, like I have tried to make it simpler for you to understand. From this flow chart, the first step is फर्टिलाइजर्स ऐड होंगे लेक या रिवर में या वाटर बॉडी में. तो फर्टिलाइजर ऐड होंगे, उसमें नाइट्रेट्स एंड फॉस्फेट्स होते हैं, नाइट्रेट्स एंड फॉस्फेट्स जिनको हम न्यूट्रिएंट्स बोलते हैं. तो एल्गल ग्रोथ विल हैपन, एल्गी विल स्टार्ट ग्रोइंग फास्टर. तो वो प्लांट्स को शेड करेंगे, तो प्लांट्स जो नीचे हैं वो भी लाइक दे विल डाई. तो algae they will also die. These dead algae and plants, they will be decomposed by the microbes. These microbes, they will use up the oxygen that's present in the water body. So that means the oxygen level of the water body will fall, of course, and the aquatic animals at last. So when the oxygen level falls or is reduced, so what will happen is aquatic animals, they will suffocate and they will die. They cannot survive in less oxygen conditions like fish. They will die. So this is the process of eutrophication. Now we have two types of eutrophication, or we have two categories of eutrophication. We have natural eutrophication and cultural eutrophication. So natural eutrophication is a natural process. So when naturally nutrients start building up in a water body over a period of time by normal processes. This process is very long. It can take hundreds or thousands of years. So the runoff of plant nutrients that comes from the surrounding area, they get flushed into the water body. So this is a very slow process, natural eutrophication. But when this natural eutrophication, when it is accelerated by the human activities, we call it cultural eutrophication. So cultural eutrophication is the nutrient enrichment of the lake at an accelerated rate that's caused by human activities. It occurs rapidly. So mostly nitrates and phosphate containing effluents, they cause cultural eutrophication. On the basis of the nutrient content present in the water body, we have different categories of water bodies. Some water bodies are oligotrophic. Oligotrophic water bodies are the water bodies which have very low nutrient concentration. Then we have mesotrophic water bodies having moderate nutrients. Then we have eutrophic water bodies which are rich in nutrients, or nutrient rich water bodies we can call them. So we have three categories: oligotrophic, mesotropic and eutrophic. Now what is an oligotropic water body or an oligotropic lake? An oligotropic lake is a water body with relatively low productivity. So you can see here, this picture is of Tarsar Marsar Lake in that's present in Adu, Pahalgam. This is Tarsar Marsar Lake in Kashmir. This is an oligotropic lake, so productivity is low because nutrient content is low. Fine. So algal growth will be low. When nutrient content is low, algal growth would be low. So naturally or consequently, the water would be very clear. So you can see here, this is another picture like of how an oligotropic lake looks like. So water is very clear, and you can drink this water. This is of high drinking quality. So oligotropic lake is when nutrient content is low, productivity is low, algal growth is low, waters are clear, and water is of the drinking quality. And these lakes or water bodies, they support the aquatic species that require well oxygenated cold waters, such as we have lake trout. That means ये जो लेक्स होती हैं ओलिगोट्रॉपिक लेक्स, यहाँ पे वो स्पीशीज प्रेजेंट होंगे जिनको ज़्यादा ऑक्सीजन चाहिए. Like we have trout. Then we have mesotropic water bodies or mesotropic lakes. This is how mesotropic lake looks like. So mesotropic lake is the nutrient level, the lake where nutrient level is moderate. It's not very low or it's not very high also. So these lakes, you can say these lakes have medium level of nutrients, and usually water is clear with submerged aquatic plants. You can see here plants are submerged in the water. Then we have eutrophic lakes or eutrophic water bodies. Eutrophic literally means true nutrients, or you can say truly nutrient rich water bodies that are truly nutrient rich. So वो water bodies जिनमें nutrient level ज़्यादा होती है या nutrient rich होते हैं, they are called as eutrophic water bodies or eutrophic lakes. So these two pictures you can see here, these pictures both are of picturesque Dal Lake. You might have seen, maybe you might be having a first-hand experience of like how Dal looks like at certain places. You can see large number of plants and algae present here in this picture also here. So large number of plants and algae, that means the this portion of Dal Lake, it is, you can call it eutrophic. So this is nutrient rich because more nutrients would be present here. That is why you can see excessive algal growth and excessive plant growth. So what will happen after these algae and plants, after they die, they will be decomposed. So microorganisms will use oxygen that's present in this water body here, like dissolved oxygen. So the level of dissolved oxygen will fall. So, and what will happen is the species that are present there, they will not be able to survive. So this is how a eutrophic water body looks like. Mostly like the Indian lakes, mostly the lakes in India are either mesotrophic or eutrophic. We have very few lakes that are oligotropic. Sometimes there is an excessive nutrient growth, like high supply of nutrients, you can say, which causes excessive plant and algal growth. Like you can see here in this pic how the algal bloom, like how the algae have covered the water surface. So these lakes, they have little transparency, sunlight cannot reach inside, so plants will die, so oxygen level will decrease. So what will happen ultimately, the aquatic species, like for example fish, they will die automatically because of the low oxygen conditions, or you can call anoxic condition. Anoxic condition means like low oxygen conditions or oxygen free conditions. So what causes the eutrophication? Fertilizers. Number one reason is the use of fertilizers in our agricultural fields, right? Because these fertilizers contain nitrates and phosphates. discharging of sewage or wastewater directly into the water bodies. So this wastewater also contains nutrients which further like you can say lead to the excessive growth of algae and aquatic plants. Use of detergents, another reason, another cause. The detergents that we use, they contain phosphates. These phosphates can lead to freshwater algal blooms and depletes oxygen in the waterways. And another reason is deforestation also, because when trees are cut, soil erosion occurs. So this when soil erosion happens, the water carries the sediments and other nutrients into the water bodies, which actually creates a suitable environment for the explosive growth of algal blooms. So this is how eutrophication is caused. Now, what are the effects of eutrophication on our environment? It decreases the transparency of water. Water becomes dark and murky. Development of anoxic conditions. I already told you anoxic condition means low oxygen levels in the water body. So increased algal blooms are there. We have unacceptable drinking water. Fish kills, you will see fish will die. Hepatotoxins are released when cyanobacterial blooms die. This can kill the livestock and can cause a serious hazard of human health. Like it can lead to decrease in species diversity, or maybe a complete loss of biodiversity is also possible. We are losing freshwater bodies because of the eutrophication, and this eutrophication, it changes the aesthetic value of the water body. Like I already showed you the picture of Dal Lake. Like when water becomes eutrophic, like it doesn't look good, and it looks, it is smelly. So naturally the aesthetic value, it changes. So this is how eutrophication affects our environment. So this is all for today. Thank you. Our next topic would be biomagnification. So stay tuned.